that we're not getting better at some stuff. And in this game, if you show vulnerabilities, the next team is going to go after it, and you have to fix things. And there's a few things here that have repeated and haven't made enough progress. And so we're off to a start that we're back and forth, and we don't have the kind of rhythm that we want. Although I can see the potential for it, and I can see how it can happen. You can see us in portions of games play and play well and be effective and efficient and all that, but the consistency isn't there, and the ability to fix some problems. That's really what's at hand right now. So it's no mystery. We just got to get better at it, and quite a few things. And so that's where we're facing it, and we have to. There's no time. So this couple days we have here, we realign a few things and make sure that we're putting our guys in the right positions and situations during the week so that they're ready. Because things that have happened in the games are things we practiced, and that's alarming to me because we're on it, and so we just got to get it right. And so we got to help the players execute better and make sure that we're making progress. So that's what our challenge is. And unfortunately, we get a game that gets away that we really again could have had in control. So you can see the control part of it. You can see that we can get there, but we got to get better. So
how much of the in-game communication is the problem with some of these coverage busts in the secondary?
They're not even coverage busts. They're just execution. It's just reading it right, staying where we're supposed to stay in our fits and our coverages, and fits in the runs on defense. Saying it's just being more precise about it, and I'm just surprised that we haven't cleaned it up, because it's experienced guys understand and coaches understand, and we just got to get it. So I'm not getting it done. I mean, really, ultimately, I got to do a better job, and that's what I'm saying. I've got to make sure that we make these corrections come to life, because we're addressing them. These are not. It's the same. A couple of the same issues we had 2 weeks ago, and so. But it's not about. If you're looking for a falter, it's not that. It's the process we got to get better at so that it shows up on game day.
What is the update on Russell Wilson?
He's getting looked at by an expert this morning, and I'll know more. I don't know much more than last night. We got to wait and see what they assess.
Is that the specialist down in L.A.?
Yeah.
And then did he have X-rays last night?
He did. He's had X-rays. Yeah, and they've all looked at that stuff, but I think they're gonna probably do all of it again today.
Did they get his finger straightened back out?
Yes. Yeah.
What are the X-rays?
I'm going to really try to not talk about the details of it, because I don't know. I mean, I heard a lot of stuff, but I'm passing along information improperly if I do. So let's just wait, and we'll know a lot more by the end of the day.
Well, I got to ask, because we won't get a chance to talk
go ahead.
to you for a
Ask
while,
whatever you
so
want. I'll give you
what did the X-rays reveal?
Well, I'm letting the doctors decide that. I didn't see it. I wouldn't know if I did. I'm not going to tell you what I've heard. Okay, I want to go to the specialist and make sure he tells us. But there's something going on. There's definitely something going on, and we got to figure out what the extent of it is and what is the next step, to deal with it.
The guys know what they're supposed to do on defense. The guys know what they're supposed to do, stuff you practice, and they're not doing it. When you ask them what's happening, what are they saying?
No, it's a question of just, it's not. It's really when the opportunity to make a decision on how you play it, we got to make the right one, and we're seeing stuff, and we're aggressively going after it, and stuff's getting in around us and behind us, and that's just an area that we just have to be more disciplined. And really, I would say it just takes more discipline to just sit and make the ball get thrown underneath you. There's like 4 or 5 plays in the game that were all basically the same concept, not the same play, different routes, formations, different coverages too. It wasn't like one coverage. We did all kinds of things in the game as we do, but when it came to the moment of truth, we need to execute better, and we didn't get that done.
If Russ has to miss any length of time, how confident are you in Gino that he can
I
accomplish?
thought Gino did a marvelous job last night. I mean, Gino's been practicing with us for all this time, waiting for his opportunity if called upon, and the patience that he's shown with us and to stay with it, and his relationship with Russ and the coaches is, he's been impeccable. And then when he went out, he executed like he can. And he's a very talented football player. He's got a great arm, he's got great sense, and he knows the system really well. I totally trust that Gino can do this. And I think you saw it last night in a really difficult situation, hurry up, all that kind of stuff. He was really good at it. He really understands the system. So we'll be able to stay with the preparation, and that'll help everybody. Gino makes guys around him feel confident and feel comfortable, and I thought that was a great showing. To show you that.
How's he handling the situation?
This is Russ at his finest in terms of competitiveness. I mean, he is doing everything possible to be ready to take advantage of whatever's available to him, and he's tuned in, he's focused. He was up all night, working it. He's already flying. He's out of here, to go see the docs. Everything that's been done as fast and as efficiently as possible. And so, it's looking ahead. We're already looking, getting right and coming back. I mean, that's how we're talking about it. And I know that he'll maximize whatever the time frame is. And so, he's gonna do a fantastic job of doing whatever he's up against.
The issue with him gripping the
Ball, is it fair to say that it was more than just simply a matter of pain tolerance? Like he just couldn't actually grip it?
Yeah. No, nobody should question his toughness. Nobody should question his resolve to get in the game. He'd have gone in. If he could have thrown the football and held on to it, he would have done it. And anybody that says otherwise doesn't know what they're talking about. So you can deal with all kinds of stuff in your hands, and you can still throw the football. And he tried, and last night did not have the power and the control of the ball. So if he would have, he could have. If he could have, he would have. So.
With that,
Let's be really clear about that. There's no doubt. There ain't nobody out there that can challenge his will and his desire and his toughness about what carrying on last night.
With that backup role, what is the challenge of? I mean, for Gino, it's been 3 years of not playing, but as he said, he prepares every time like he has to play. How difficult is that for a player?
It's a challenge, John, because somewhere in there, how do you keep hope alive? That's really what this is, and you have to have a special makeup, and that's why the really good backup quarterbacks are special in a number of ways, but that's one of them. Their ability to get better and to improve without the work and and have to use their imagination and how things would develop and all that, because they don't get the opportunities and the repetitions. You got to be really special. Gino's got that makeup. It's not the makeup that Gino would like to be proud of. That I'm really good at backing up, because he wants to be a great starter, and I've always talked to him like that, that he is, and that's what he will be when the time comes. And so now he's going to get a chance, and I'm thrilled for him.
Do you anticipate Chris Carson being back for the next game, or is there any concern?
I don't know. I really don't know. This is really a day-to-day deal with Chris. We got to see how he responds. The short week just did not help him at all, and so it's too bad.
And the decision to put Eskridge on IRs, what went into that?
The uncertainty of when he's coming back, and we're not sure yet. Again, I go back to he can work out and look good in his workouts and all, but it's what he feels like afterwards. It continues to show that he needs more time, and so physically he'll be ready to go when the time is, but he's just got to get through the impact of the what happened.
It's all just concussion symptoms.
Yeah.
You just talked a lot about the coverage. There's been a lot of emphasis just on Jamal because of those couple of plays. What did you think, I guess, of him and those couple of the long pass to Deshaun and the touchdown?
I think for anybody that is highly compensated, that you guys are going to take a good look at it and maybe give him another second look and a third look about what's up. He's playing his butt off. He's running and hitting and doing all that stuff. He got really awkward, unusual situation on the underthrow last night, and then he got beat on a one-on-one. And so we loved for him to have won the one-on-one. Those are hard, and they ran it well and timed it well and did a nice job. They got him. And then the other play was just a screwball in the park play, and he wasn't able to find the way to get to the ball, like he needed to, and so I think he's doing really well. I think he's an effective, impacting football player, and he is put right in the middle of the fire on so many different concepts. He's right where the ball's going, and so he's got a lot of opportunities, and so you're not going to win all those.
You can never say he's
I
not.
would say this too. He would be the first to tell you he wants to play better. He wants to do, be right more. That's he's a great competitor, and he's not satisfied with nothing.
You never say he's not blitzing as much. What do you make of that?
But the numbers are right. Yeah, the numbers are right, and we need to. We've sent him, and he's been in a bunch of calls, and he's in the game plan. We're not trying to. We're not keeping him out of it. It's just sometimes the formations and the big spread offenses that we're seeing a lot of in the first month of the season here. It limits the opportunities, and so the calls don't fit sometimes because of the formations, and we can't just rush him all the time, because he has a lot of other duties that he has to take care of, and so. I would love to see him be more, and have more impact in the game by pressuring too, and so that's why we build this stuff in every week.
Was there a plan this season to use him in coverage and not blitz him as much more?
No, it was just to expand what we were doing to utilize his skills, and which he's doing a really good job of. He had a bunch of really good plays last night where the ball doesn't get thrown because he covered the guy and took the concept away. You wouldn't even know, so he's doing some good stuff now.
This is 2 straight seasons now. The defensive numbers early in the season are kind of.
I don't have any explanation for that, because if I did, I'd fixed it. I'm really disappointed that that we're off to a start statistically that looks like garbage, and so we're better than that.
What do you see as the differences though between what the issues were last year with what the issues are now?
We're much cleaner in what we're doing, and tighter in the scheme and all of that, but the ball continues to get in there. There's a lot of throwing yards are happening here, and we haven't. Remember how it turned? It turned through the factor of the pass rush, and that's going to be the same thing when it turns this time. We need to be able to make the quarterback have a difficult time getting the football thrown, and it's what Stafford has been able to do. They've done a really nice job of protecting him, and he's really good at throwing it if you give him a chance, and like you saw, and nobody's really slowed him down yet. So, and it's gonna, when it does, it'll happen for them. It'll happen when people rush the passer better, and so that's a number of aspects. It's not just the guy's got to rush harder. That's not what it is. We've got to fit it together. We've got to make it match with the coverage as it's happening, so that we get the opportunities for the rush. And I continue to say this. It's, as we developed Darryl, and you saw Alton was struggling a little bit, didn't get to play as much because he was not as healthy as he needed to be to do that. He could play, but he just wasn't quite right. We need those guys to be factors, and that'll help us, improve.
In the first half, the second half, was the change more what the Rams were doing offensively, or is it you guys just not doing it as well on your?
No, because we played well on third down again, except for the one touchdown, that first touchdown drive. They just hit a few more plays. He missed a few throws in the first half. Coverage was there. Corners played better, in this game, and made a couple breakups and all that. They popped a couple, the stuff over the middle was really what happened, and they did a nice job of that. It didn't happen in the first half.
Gerald will be back with the team when you
Yes,
guys make the
Gerald's cleared. Yeah, he was cleared yesterday. He made it, like we thought. That was really unfortunate because we really had that one in hand. We knew exactly what was going on and how it was trending, and his test results come back this in the middle of the night last night after they arrived down south. And he was cleared. So he'll be fine. He'll practice on Monday.
Are other teams closer to wherever their tests are sent, and so that they don't have to deal with it?
Yes, yeah, because it's in Burbank, is where our stuff goes. However, what just happened, I think, is going to change a little bit of the ruling on game day, because it was so evident that had we been in Southern California, he could have gone to the facility and tested out and been ready. So I think what might happen, and I'm guessing that game day testing results will not allow a guy to play. If you test clear on that game day, so that everybody's location will be the same in that. I mean, you can't have an advantage because you're closer to the place by getting cleared on game day. Does that make sense? I didn't say that very well, but
What would the second test be then? What would it be?
it would have to be the day before. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So it wouldn't have changed your situation?
No,
Just
and
whatever-
we didn't know that. Yeah, we weren't aware of that. So that's why we were competing all the way till 1 o'clock yesterday, and we were battling. But.
One more on the defense. To the people who asked, last week the package with Ryan Neal worked really well, and then you didn't do it as much last night. Is this just kind of a simple game plan thing, or what?
Yeah, he was in the plan exactly the same as he was last week. The situations didn't arise, and because we played him in third down last week. That's where he made all his plays, and because of their tempo and all of that, there was some questions about getting guys on and off the field. We had to make sure we didn't get caught, and so we weren't as freely substituting. That's why that happened. And they have a tempo that restricts the substitution somewhat, and so we won all those downs anyway, So I would love to have Ryan play because he's a really good ball player. But in this game plan, we wanted him to. If we could get it done, we would have. But we weren't able to get the connections with the personnel they had on, with the timing of the exchange from second to third down. We felt like we didn't want to disrupt everybody else by running guys on late. So
Could you play him on early down?
you could, yeah. But it's not. He played in the dime package. He was the 6th DB in the game, and so it didn't match up.
You mentioned Darrell Taylor in pass rush earlier, 4 sacks for him. What are you seeing at him in his first year out there?
Yeah, well, he's really active, and when what will happen, his consistency will really improve, and that means that he'll make the right choices at the right times to use the right moves in his pass rush stuff as he develops his experience and kind of his reservoir of moves and all, and he's going to be just increasingly better. He's really explosive. He's got great flexibility. You can see him really turn the corner and do some really good things there, and he's going to continue to get sacks, and so we're looking forward to him having a great, really his rookie year.
What are you seeing with the run defense?
Say it again.
What are you seeing with the run defense this year? Your run defense?
Not consistent. It's not as consistent. I mean, that's our what it is on defense. We're not as consistent as we need to be. Because there's times when we look great, and a few plays got away, for one reason or another, as they do. You miss your fits, and we just got to be better.
What did you think without Chris, and I guess if maybe he still can't play for a week or two or whatever? What do you think of your running back situation right now?
Well, we'll look forward to getting Rashad back, and he'll be back in another couple of weeks, and that'll be a big boost to us when we get him. But the guys are, they're doing what they can, and I thought that DJ did a nice job last night, coming off the bench, and Alex has been doing a solid job now at the one spot.
John said on the pregame yesterday that Chris's neck issue kind of popped up at the end of preseason a little bit. Is it just a soreness sort of movement issue that limits him from being able to play, or is it something more?
Yeah. He has, he's got an old injury that you can see, and it's kind of, I don't know if it's chronic, but it occasionally pops up, and it hasn't been the issue in the past. And he didn't get hit, and that's how he got hurt. It's just it's a condition that he's got, probably from weightlifting and all of the stuff he's done over the years. It could have been something a long time ago, and it's just flared up in some, and so we're being real careful with him. But yet was too uncomfortable to play.
Are on defense, are personnel changes still on the table?
Always, yeah, always. I mean, we're always looking. We're just trying to find the guys who are going to do things right and effectively. And that comes from, sometimes you guys got to come off the bench to do that and help you. And if nothing else, it gets, keeps the competitive environment the way it needs to be to help guys be at their best.
How'd you guys make it through the game injury-wise aside from Russell?
Really, Russ was the only guy that got hurt.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thanks.